work together all the time. Till we are really good friends because every month we go to dinner together. And that's how we came, to play with the soccer game together. And that was actually your first day, right? The first day.
It was my first day.
Yeah, the first day of a soccer game.
It's like, oh, come on, it'll be great. So I go to the park with Lazeni. It's going to be great. It's a beautiful day. Then things changed towards the end of the game. Soccer changed into doing life-saving CPR, and it was more than I bargained for.
Well, we were playing. I didn't really see the guy fall down. It's all of a sudden somebody said, "A man is down. Stop! Everybody stop! A man is down. Player down. Player down." And they called the name and it wasn't moving. So I ran to him and I went and I touched him. I said, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" It's not responding. So I pushed him and he just fell, just like a log, And I looked at his face. It was blue and his eyes were staring into space. And I said, "Oh, well." I said, "Justin, get over here. We're in trouble."
And I show up at Lazeni's side, and he's like, "I think he had a seizure." He's like, "But I don't know." So he's trying to listen. I'm checking for a pulse. There's no pulse. I'm like, "Bud, I don't think there's a pulse." And he checks, and he's like, "I agree with you." And he says, and I said, "Yeah." And I just started doing compressions. And he had, he would periodically, I stopped periodically to see if we were getting anywhere. There would be an agonal respiration, and I would pause for half a second and go, "Come on," and there would be nothing. So back to CPR, and that went on for, well, it felt like an eternity.
So he was doing the compression. I was doing the mouth-to-mouth breathing. And he gave the order to call the ambulance. In the emergency room, we have all the fancy toys, and you have your own, you just give orders, okay? We never really do those things because you have people that can do that for you. You just give orders.
Stand back and direct traffic.
This one is different. This one is scary because you feel like you are completely naked. So EMS came, we put him on the cardiac monitor. He was in ventricular fibrillation. He got shocked twice. We continued CPR. CPR was really good. He was doing good compression, and he started reperfusing. The color changed. We took him to the ambulance. By the time we got to the ambulance, he was already moving, and started making noise, and the blood pressure regained. Was really good. By the time we got to the ER, he was already fighting, and then he got admitted, and then I think a couple of days later he got quadruple bypass surgery, and then he went home. He's doing great.
First thing I remember, the voice of my wife telling me, "John, you're in the hospital, you've had a massive heart attack, and there were 2 emergency room doctors on the field with you, and they resuscitated you. They did CPR on me right away, from what I understand, and it is just humbling to think that people stop everything and take care of you when you need them to, and it feels really good." The survival rate, 6% nationally, for people who have a massive heart attack outside of a hospital. It's very sobering. Like, I almost died, and a lot of people do die when that happens to them. But I just think I was incredibly lucky, and I was healthy, and the circumstances around that were just in my favor, and I'm very grateful for that.
Fortunately, everything turned out well. I understand he had rather extensive disease that apparently he didn't know about. So, yeah, wasn't how I thought the soccer game would turn out. I'm sure it's not how he thought it would be, but he's alive to tell the tale. It doesn't take very long to learn how to do compressions. It's very easy to learn to check for a pulse, and if somebody sees somebody collapse and they don't seem to get them rousing, and they check and there doesn't seem to be a pulse, other than maybe cracking a rib, starting to do compressions may be the one thing that saves their lives until an ambulance can get there, or until an AED can get there. And I just think everybody should know it. It's very straightforward, and doing compressions on some stranger, may make the difference for them and their family when you save their life.
This can happen to anybody, it can be your child, it can be your father, your mother, your grandmother. I mean, it just can happen to everybody. So, by your, simple action, you can save lives. So it's very important to know how to do it.
Fortunately, we have the opportunity to save lives regularly. Not always are we successful in saving lives, but frequently, we can pat ourselves on the back, or one of our colleagues will pat us and thank us, nice job. And that's really what's expected of us every day. Out there, I don't know, I've never had to save a life outside the emergency department. And it felt quite amazing. If we hadn't been there, he wouldn't be here. It's that simple. The bystanders said they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know what was going on. He just wouldn't be here. So it feels good. We did the right thing. When we're in the emergency department, what comes. We have no say. But we had a say this time. We saw it. We were able to do something. A good thing came about.